Hey guys, it's Athena. Welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I have the awesome Halloween tag for my channel. It's almost October, which is my favorite month. Fall is my favorite season, and I'm so excited for Halloween, so I wanted to put together a little look for you guys. I originally was going for a Hollywood from the movie Cool World cosplay, and I thought I was going to be able to get that look with this wig, but I wasn't really able to style it the way that I wanted to. And I got this dress too because there's a dress in the whatchamacallit, in the movie that she wears that's very similar to this, and I actually put makeup on my arms and under my arms and stuff to like give me like a really sort of like cartoon kind of effect. But really what I ended up looking a lot like was the Jeremy Scott Moschino Barbie collection girls. I'll insert some pictures of the girls from that or fashion show. So that's kind of what I ended up looking like something from that runway show-esque. And yeah, I mean, I really love like creativity and like extreme glamour and like getting all dressed up and like sort of like creating yourself into a character. I think that that is so just fun and awesome, and you know, we're always ourselves, so it's fun to just be a little bit different sometimes and like express ourselves in a artistic way. I mean, I wish this is how my hair naturally was, but yeah, I mean, I just really love like playing with hair and makeup and outfits and costumes and all that kind of stuff. I think that that is so fun and just awesome. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with this tag video. So let's see. Favorite horror or Halloween themed song? Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I really love Elvira's song Trick or Treat. It came out in the 80s. I actually did this really funny, cringy, like dance video to it last year for Halloween. And but yeah, it's a really good song. I really like it. Okay, so next question is, name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or an abandoned building. Oh my gosh, there's so many things, right? Like, I'm trying to think, what would be the scariest thing ever? I don't know, maybe It, that would be really scary, right? It, like, in just this creepy, like, abandoned building, like his house in the It movies, oh my god, just, like, terrifying. So, probably It, or, like, some type of scary clown. Um, let's see, have you ever played with an Ouija board? Or it's not a Ouija, it's Ouija. I haven't played with a Ouija board because I just think that I'm the kind of person where I would start to like I just scare myself all the time and be like, oh my gosh, like, did we stop the board? Like, did we close the session right? Like, did anything, you know, is anything happening? Like, did anything cross over or something? Like, I would just be so scared that, I didn't like end it properly, or like I made contact with like a bad spirit or something. I'd be like so scared of that. Let's see. Favorite horror monster or villain? Okay, I know that it's really funny coming from me, but on YouTube, I definitely display a lot of my really girly side. Like, I don't talk a lot about like the horror and like dark theme stuff that I really like, but I do have a huge love for horror movies and for dark stuff. Like, I really do. And I'd say that my favorite horror like protagonist would have to be Pinhead from Hellraiser. I think he's so hot and just so awesome. So I love him, and I love the Hellraiser franchise. It's like one of my favorite horror franchises ever. I'm trying to think of like who else. There's a lot, honestly. I mean, I think like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. I know that that's not necessarily like, he's not necessarily a villain, but I really like his character in The Fly. So I think that he's really cool in that movie. Let's see. The creepiest thing that's ever happened while you were alone. Creepiest thing that's ever happened while I've been alone. I don't know. I think like just like when you're by yourself, like if you're in like a parking like garage or like anything like that, like if you start to think about like scary stuff, you start to get like freaked out really easily, and so that can be really, really frightening. So I think just like psyching yourself out can be like the scariest thing. um let's see, or like if you're in the shower and like you just watch a scary movie, you like have the curtain like halfway open so like nothing gets you, you know. So let's see. If you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Probably I would, but I would require like, you know, friends or something, or like a boyfriend to be like protective and like be there to help me. um, are you superstitious? Um, I mean, I wouldn't say superstitious to the point where like it controls my life or anything, but I definitely like, if there's a situation or scenario that like comes up in real life that is a superstition, like walking under a ladder, I won't do it. Like I won't walk under a ladder intentionally and think like, oh, like it's not real. Like I will avoid it because it does kind of like, just the thought of having like bad luck kind of is unnerving to me. And I mean, I'm not afraid of black cats. I have a black cat, so I'm definitely not afraid of them. But other than that, I'm trying to think, like, there's a lot to be superstitious about, I guess, but I'm not too heavily, like, affected by it. Like, I would just say, like, not walking under a ladder, or isn't it, like, you don't, there's something about a broken mirror. I'm not sure exactly, like, what that one is, but, yeah, it just certain things kind of weird me out that I'm a little bit, like, cautious and hesitant about. Let's see. Do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? Well, like, it's so funny because I watched that horror movie Hereditary, and in that movie, like, there's these people that are like sort of in the background, and they're like making like smiling faces, and like they're really creepy, and the person that's in the shot may or may not be aware that they're there. So like I remember that I was going for a run the day after I had seen that movie, and like there was this guy on the beach, and like it was only his silhouette because it was like kind of getting dark, so it was only his silhouette, and I couldn't tell or not like if he was like staring at me or if he was facing the other way. So like I was running, and then I just saw him, and like I just instantly thought of that movie, and that really creeped me out. So I was like charging as fast as I could away from there. But yeah, like I think once you see a movie or something, like it can sort of put something into your mind, and then you sort of get scared and like play it out in real life in a way. Like your mind kind of plays tricks on you. Let's see. Do you ever, which urban legend scares you the most? I think I don't think it's an urban legend. I think it's more of just like a creature, but there's this thing called a Wendigo, and I'm not sure of like the lore behind it or like any of the details on it, but the Wendigo is basically like this really evil like entity, and it can like steal your soul or something like that. And there was this horror movie called Absentia, and there was this like a tunnel, but it was under like a bypass or something. I forget what that's called. Like, but anyways, and this girl lives by this tunnel thing, and people like disappear in this tunnel. There's like a warped like dimension or something like that, and then this Wendigo thing, this creature like will take you to that other side, and like that just really creeped me out. I didn't like that. Like it kind of got under my skin a little bit. Okay, so next question is, do you prefer gore or thrillers? I think that like thrillers are a little bit more scary because anything that could happen in real life definitely adds that like extra dimension to like the fear and stuff like that. Like I think that can make the movie or like scenario even more scary if it could actually happen in real life. But I don't know. I mean, gore is kind of hard to watch sometimes, but I definitely think between the two, I think that thrillers are scarier than like gory movies. Okay, so next question is, Do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds? Well, I feel like that's a little bit of like a loaded question because, I mean, if the universe is infinitely large and we don't know of other life forms yet, I do think that there has to be other life forms in the planet. We can't be the only ones. I'm sure if it's like bacteria or anything, or if it's another, you know, type of being, I mean, I don't know. But in terms of multiple dimensions, I mean, I feel like if I knew more about like science and like the planes of like, I don't know, just sort of like the physics of things, and I mean, certain things are kind of weird, like, I don't know if, I mean, we do have dimensions in terms of like 2D, 3D dimensions, but in terms of like alternate reality dimensions, I'm not sure. I mean, and like sort of having deja vu is a weird kind of phenomenon that I think everybody in the world goes through. I read somewhere that the brain gets confused and it sort of sends like a wrong message to your mind that you've experienced something before, but really it's still your first time experiencing it. But I don't know. I mean, I've had stuff in dreams where like I'll sleep and I'll have a picture of an exact moment or something, and then I'll forget about it until it actually happens, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I like thought of this, like this was already in my mind somehow. And maybe that could just be that, you know, I'm sure that I think a lot of times there is a scientific explanation for everything for the most part. But there is some stuff that sort of science can't explain. So I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I wouldn't say that I live my life thinking that there's other alternate dimensions, but my mind is open to it, if that makes sense. Have you ever made a potion of any sort? Well, when I was little, I used to like make like crazy concoctions of, just like, you know, soap and glitter glue and perfume and like shampoo and conditioner and just all kinds of stuff, and laundry detergent and, you know, probably dirt and just all kinds of stuff, but nothing like, no like actual like potion, like adult, like, you know, witchcraft potions or anything. Let's see. Have you ever played Bloody Mary? I think when I was little, I like tried to, but it really scared me. Do you believe in demons or the devil? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to like articulate. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe in a devil, but like, I don't know. I mean, demons, like I feel like that's a different can of worms. I don't know, like if part of me believes in like a spiritual world, like if there are ghosts and souls and that type of thing, then I mean there must be malevolent forces with the good spirits as well. So I mean, I think that's something that really like gets under my skin and really scares me, is the whole like demon possession thing, or like, you know, it's something of like another like force that is like malevolent and evil. That's like really scary to me. Like all of the like Conjuring movies, or I'm trying to think, what is the other names? The Insidious movies, like that type of thing. That really scares me. Like that's super, super scary to think about. You're home alone, but you hear footsteps in your house. What do you do? What do you do? Break down and cry? No, I'm just kidding. What would I do if I heard footsteps? Well, first I would be dumb and be like, you know, Mom, is that you? Like, who's, you know, it would have to depend on the situation. Like, if I knew that no one else was home and that no one else should be home, like say I live by myself, or like, let's just say I was in a house and I knew that no one else was supposed to be there and I heard footsteps, I probably would get the closest weapon that I could, like some sort of self-defense, and I would like, I definitely, I don't know, I mean, it would depend, like, it's very circumstantial, like if it was coming from downstairs or upstairs or what it is, but I definitely would grab something to defend myself, and I wouldn't just like walk out and be like, oh, like, who's there, girl? Like, I'd be like, you know, holding like, I don't know, a brush, and I'd be like, stay back. or I don't know, like I'd be like, who's there? But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But I would definitely be really skeptical. I would try and think of like, what's my nearest exit? Is my phone with me? I could start recording, or I could have 911 on speed dial. Like, I don't know. It just depends on the situation, I guess. Let's see. If you got trapped in one scary movie, which would you choose? Ooh, that's a really fun question. I definitely think I would want to be in Hellraiser. I would love to be like, I think her name's Kirsty. She's in the first and second movie, and she opens the lament configuration, which is the box, the Hellraiser box, and she goes in, I think, to save her father or to figure out what happens to her father. And I think that would be a really interesting movie to be a part of and just sort of be a character in. I wouldn't want to be evil, but it would be cool to be a Cenobite, because the Cenobites sort of mix like this, like it's like a psychoanalysis of like the dark things in our world, and like pain, trauma, ecstasy, pleasure, like all these things mixing together. So it's like it's very fascinating and interesting. So I think that it would be cool to be a part of that. But if I had to be in a game franchise, it would definitely be Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill to death. I adore it. I think that it's a masterpiece. Like, it's so deep and analytical and just profound. Like, I would definitely would want to be in Silent Hill. I'd want to be a character in Silent Hill. Let's see. If you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would you be? I would definitely be Barbie. I know that, like, one of my biggest fears is that, especially for this video, that I look really cringy, or or like, I don't know, I look embarrassing or something, and because I'm wearing a wig and like the whole like Barbie. So like when it comes to cosplaying and stuff, like I'm really shy. Like, I don't know. I have such a hard, I know, like, oh my God, I have to be negative, but I don't mean to be, I just have such a hard time being comfortable in my body, and I just think that I always will look cringe no matter what I do, so I kind of don't like to sort of express my cosplaying side. But like, I mean, I really love cosplay and like dressing up for Halloween and stuff. I think that I will always dress up like for Halloween. I mean, my brother and sister are younger, so like obviously like I don't like expect like adults to like give me candy or anything. Like, that's not my thing. But I still like dressing up. I think that that's really fun. Or like going to a convention and dressing up. Like, I think that's really awesome and fun and cool. But my brother and sister are 9 and 11, so they are like at their prime, like Halloween, you know, era phase, and it's so awesome because it's such a blessing to be able to take them out trick-or-treating and like still really be able to be in like the Halloween type of culture, like for kids and stuff. I think that that's really fun. I love to take them trick-or-treating. It's like my favorite thing ever. Let's see. Okay. If you could, oh, okay, so yeah, like the Barbie costume I would definitely do, but if I had to pick like a specific Barbie costume, I would want to be Superstar Barbie with like the faux fur and the huge like star pink dress. Sorry, Steve, I just hit you in the face by accident. Oh my gosh. He's perfect for this video, right? He's an all-black cat. Well, he's a tuxedo cat, actually, because he has like the white mittens and the little white fur thing. Let's see. Would you ever go to a graveyard at night? I think so. Like, of course, I would want to be doing something with, like, good intentions. I wouldn't want to go to a graveyard and, like, do anything bad or, like, evil or anything. Like, I think that would be terrible and, like, really crazy. Because you don't know what you're messing with. Like, that's just one thing. Like, I mean, I just think you don't mess with, like, the dead or anything like that. I mean, I think if you're going for fun, like, I know sometimes they have, like, movies in a cemetery or, like, I don't know, like, music or something. Like, I think Lana Del Rey did a concert at, like, the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which I don't know if that's, like, an actual cemetery or it's just called that, or probably is a real cemetery, but I wouldn't ever go, like, and do, like, a Ouija board thing or anything like that. I just think that that would just be too scary, and it could lead to dark things. So I wouldn't do that. But if I was just like walking around, I mean, maybe I'd be really kind of scared, but let's see. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? Submachine gun, girl. Submachine gun, like, that is just unlimited ammo. Like, I just need, like, multiple protection, like, unlimited machine guns, unlimited ammo, unlimited everything. Like, I mean, I would also want a suit, like, that was really tough, like, kind of like a armor in a way, so that nothing could, like, bite me or get me. Speaking of zombies, that is definitely something that really gets under my skin and scares me, is the whole zombie apocalypse thing. I mean, that is just terrifying to me. Like, I don't think I could survive a zombie apocalypse, like, at all. I think I'd be, like, one of the first people to go. That idea of, like, never being safe and, like, I mean, just being in, like, agony, like, purgatory if you get turned into a zombie, and, like, I mean, just the fear of, like, being bitten and, like, eaten, and, oh god, that would just be really scary. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or trick-or-treating? It depends. Like, I think both would be cool. Like, I wouldn't want to go to, like, a Halloween party where it's just, like, drinking or whatever. Like, I'm not into that. So I would want to go to, like, a Halloween, like, ball or something where, like, everyone's dressed up and, you know, it's, like, good people, good music. It's, like, spooky and fun. And I mean, I would like that. That'd be really cool. Let's see. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? Well, I think that I have the potential to be a final girl, only in the sense that, I mean, or maybe I just want to be the final girl. I don't want to die. I don't know. I mean, okay, let's be real, girl. I would be the one probably first to die. Like, I probably wouldn't even die from the killer. Like, everyone would just off me because I just couldn't shut up and, like, stop, like, crying or something and, like, being worried. They'd just, like, sacrifice me first. Let's see. But I would want to be a final girl. Well, I don't know. Final girls have to, like, live through a lot of trauma. So, like, I don't know if I even want to be a final girl. Like, that would be a lot to live through. So, I'm not 100% sure. But, let's see. I think I'd also be, like, the comic relief, too. Like, I think I'd also, like, be making jokes. Like, you know, I don't know. I think I'd try and, like, lighten the situation, too. Let's see. Do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror movie so you can go to sleep? Definitely. I definitely am a strong believer. I think even if you're not scared, it's just good for your mind to, like, if you watch something heavy or whatever, I think it's just good to, like, you know, definitely watch something that takes your mind out of that, like, negative, scary space, and just something, like, even if it's just background noise while you're, like, brushing your teeth, getting ready for bed, whatever, or, like, just preparing to, like, I don't know, just do something, go on with your day. I think you should definitely have, like, a little bit of a icebreaker and, like, watch something that gets your mind sort of out. Let's see, next question. Whilst watching scary movies, are you the person who yells at the characters, the person with their eyes covered the whole time, or the person who falls asleep? I think I'm the person with my eyes covered the whole time. Like, I'm like, girl, what's happening? Oh my gosh. Like, especially in the movie theaters, like, the jump scares galore with today's horror movies. I mean, it's intense. Like, some of the stuff that's in movies can be really hard to watch, so I don't know what that was. Live recording. Guys, paranormal story time. No, just kidding. So I'm definitely like, what's going on? Yeah, let's see. Are you the one who gets scared or the one who does the scaring? I do both. I like to get my brother and sister a lot of the time. I think that that's fun, but they get me back, girl. They get me back, like, hardcore. And, like, I'm one of those people that will be, like, so extra. Like, I'll, like, hide in the closet and, like, put clothes over me and stuff and all kinds of stuff. But I also am, like, such a wuss when it comes to getting scared. Let's see. Favorite scary book? Ooh. Well, what's interesting is that when I was in about 5th grade, actually, I went through a phase where I was reading a lot of horror books, and there was this one author that I really liked. I think it was called like The Haunting of Something Inn or whatever, and she was a really great writer for children's horror. And there was another book called like the Darkness in the Lake or something like that, and I forget her name, but it was really intense. It was about these two kids, and they lived in this inn and for the summer with their grandmother, and there was like hauntings going on, and then there was this very evil spirit of this woman who was trying to kill them. And it wasn't cheesy, like it wasn't funny at all. Like it was a really scary book, and like the ending was really intense, and I don't know, I remember like it really got me, but I really liked it because she wrote so well that you felt like you were in it, and you were just so captivated like by her writing and stuff. So I mean, I really enjoyed that. And I think I tried to read another book by her too, but I think I just didn't finish it. But I loved that, those scary books. And then, do you guys remember the scary stories to tell in the dark or whatever? Those really creepily illustrated books. Oh my gosh, those like ruined me as a kid. Those stories scared me so bad. I could like not sleep at night. And I read somewhere that Guillermo del Toro, who's a really great director, he did The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth. Those are all like amazing movies. What was the other one? Crimson Peak. He is, I believe, working on a film version of scary movies or scary stories to tell in the dark. So that's really cool. Let's see. How old were you when you saw your first horror movie? I specifically remember my first real horror movie that wasn't like Goosebumps or something was probably when I was like, I think 10 years old, 10 or 9, and my aunt, it was Hostel Part 2, girl. This is like extreme. The girl getting her eye like blown out with the blowtorch or whatever, like getting like flamed. Oh my gosh, I remember seeing that, and like I was just terrified. I was like shaking, like literally shaking. It was just too much for my brain to like process at that age. What was your first Halloween costume? I think I was a string bean as a baby. My mom, like the 3 peas in the pod, and then it was like a pod, and then my face. So yeah, I was a little string bean. Let's see. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. There's a couple characters that I would really like to be. I really want to be, Lisa Garland from Silent Hill. I definitely want to be one of the nurses from Silent Hill. I would love to cosplay as, like, Jessica Rabbit, or something like that. I'd love to be Daphne again for Halloween. I was Daphne one year as a kid. I have a lot of ideas in mind. Of course, Barbie, like an 80s Barbie would be so cool. Let's see. If you could have a spooky Halloween pet, a black cat, an owl, a bat, a rat, or a wolf, what would you pick? I think that'd be cool to have like a little rat, like a Halloween rat. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, guys? Love you. Bye.